This is a meeting of ANC. This is a meeting of ANC 5A tonight on July 16th. We are meeting tonight. This is a last minute meeting, so thank you everyone for your last minute availability. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Let me establish a quorum. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 commissioners on the call, which is enough for a quorum. By unanimous consent, I say we establish a quorum. Everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioners, you have been sent information related to the next steps in our protest hearing for the ABCA review. I'm going to turn the floor over to Commissioner Hermes to give everyone an update on where things stand after the roll call hearing and our next steps. Commissioner, go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you, Chair Lucio. Just a little bit of a background. Again, we sent a protest letter into ACA, which was dismissed on Monday for grounds that it was lacking substance. A couple of vague terms. We're still waiting on their exact reasoning for dismissing the motion. We're likely to get that letter tomorrow. So with the wonderful Ms. Alston and I have been working hard along with everyone else on ANC 5A. We have spoken to lawyers, basically called, every lawyer in town that I know, and had them eventually nail it down to this one lawyer, Miss Kelly Verdi, who literally for her job works for, she basically represents ANCs and other protestants to ABCA. And she's done a great job with this in the past. Just recently won a case of reinstating. She can't disclose whether it was an ANC or some sort of other process, but reinstated someone that had their letter dismissed, and they ended up winning the case. So she's really the top lawyer in the city for exactly this. So we are going to hopefully vote on two things. The first thing is going to be to sign that letter of engagement with them, and then two would be to apply for a technical assistance support grant from the Office of Advisory Neighborhood Commissions, who have exactly for things like this. They're able to give us funds so that we don't have to cut too deep into our budget to have expenditures like this. So again, we'll have 10 days from, it's unclear whether it was from last Monday or from when we actually get the letter to send in our letter of appeal. We have a couple different options. Again, one is the grounds that, we really did have the substance that was needed. Two, we can make cases for why we didn't have the substance, and so we need to go in and make a couple changes. But the third thing that's going for us, again, which I think I've brought up with many of you, is that on the play card notice, they sent out an initial one that was then rescinded, which had incorrect dates of the roll call hearings and all sorts of incorrect dates on it. Then they sent us a re-advertised version, but that also had incorrect dates. So under DC code, it really would not fall under the proper notice requirement legally, at least from every lawyer and counsel that we've spoken to so far. So that's where we're at. Right now, we obviously might have lost the battle. That's what I like to say on Monday, but the war is certainly far from over, and so looking forward to the vote tonight to really get ourselves and get our feet back on the ground.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate all the background and all the work you've done on this. Commissioner, you have a motion you'd like to put on the floor, and we will open it up for discussion as per our responsibilities.
Yes, I move that ANC 5A authorize the signing of a letter of engagement with Verdi and Ogletree LLC to represent the commission in the protest of ABRA 130766. I further move that we apply for a technical assistance support grant from the Office of Advisory Neighborhood Commissions for up to $5,000 to support this effort.
I second.
Okay, so thank you all. The motion has been moved by Commissioner Hermes, seconded by Commissioner Alston. I'd like to open it for comment or question or discussion. First from the commissioners, Commissioner Bakum.
Yes, so if we don't get the $5,000, we'll have to pay for it out of our budget. Is that right?
Yes, that would be correct. And the current hourly rate is $350, which she's reduced from her normal fee of $750. So I guess just putting in, let's assume that it's going to take 15 hours or so. That would hover right in the $5,200 range. But when I spoke to General Counsel Denise Whitaker, she sounded pretty adamant that we would get this TAS grant and that they could act promptly on getting us the funds.
Great, thanks.
Commissioner Sellers.
Good evening. What is the time frame for applying for the grant?
She said that if we got it in, that we could have a response by the end of this week. If we got it in, let's say before 9 a.m. tomorrow, she said it takes 1 to 2 days to get the acceptance letter, and then we could get the funds within 2 weeks. Of course, the bill that we would have to pay to the law firm is not due until the end of the month, so I guess it would be a little over 2 weeks from now.
And who is working on the grant application?
We haven't started it yet, so technically we can't fill out any grant app and any of this until, I mean, we can reach out and inquire about it, but we can't fill anything out until and unless we have a motion that's been duly adopted at a meeting.
And I want to recap. The amount that we anticipate will be 5,000 or 5,500 for legal fees.
We're estimating that we'll receive 5,000 from OANC. In terms of how many hours, it sort of depends on, I mean, how much we want them to put into the case. But yeah, I would estimate between 5,000 and 5,500. Let's say that, for example, OANC gives us 3,000. Yeah, we're probably would then have to spend an additional 2,500 on the lawyer fees.
So let me ask a question then. Would it be better for us to restate the motion to say we are agreeing to approve up to a certain amount, assuming that OANC may cover some, but there's a chance they may not, but even with that, we may go
Sure,
over
sure.
that amount?
I'll withdraw my motion.
Wait a minute, I have a question. You're saying what now?
So
Repeat that.
we're suggesting that I suggested that we reword the motion to say we set a limit, we are willing to spend from ANC 5A funds up to a certain amount. So that if OANC only covers part of it, we will cover the remaining part up to a certain amount. And even if OANC is not able to cover any of it, we agree to cover up to a certain amount, because as we all know, lawyers' fees can continue on for a long time. They can get very expensive, and you can run through that very, very quickly. So I want us to make sure we are setting the bar high so that we make sure all of the fees are covered. Does that make sense, Commissioner Alston?
Well, it makes sure that once we get in it, if we have to have more money, that we are able to give the money because we do have the money.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But are you getting you say up to a limit? What are you talking about?
Right, we're doing it a higher limit than what Jack suggested.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Commissioner Sellers.
However, I agree with you. We're not going to give carte blanche to like just unlimited amount of money for an attorney. This could go into $10,000, and it may not be worth it.
So
let me finish.
sorry.
Hold
So
on. Let's use hands, please.
I just want to make sure that we're clear on what agreement we have with the law firm. And if it's hourly rate, if it's a half hourly rate, I just want to be clear. Now, I don't want to like come back and say, oh, well, we need additional $2,000 or $3,000 more. I want this to be well thought out before we start this engagement process.
Commissioner Mez.
Yeah, I'll say a couple. So first thing, it's on every 6-minute increment. I guess that's what they do in law now. So they bill you by every 6 minutes. Again, it's $350 per hour, which is down from the $750. So I guess the next question is then how much would we be willing to allocate? What I would recommend is that in addition to whatever OANC is willing to allocate, we allocate $5,000, up to $5,000, with the opportunity to go back and give more funds if necessary. I would also like to point out that if we're willing to spend $10,000 on a community day, our constituents care, I mean, maybe 1,000 times more about stopping this dispensary than about community days. So I think that, honestly, I think we should be willing to spend at least what a community day is, but I'm willing to say, okay, let's cap it at 5,000 for now and revisit it if we need to.
Yeah, I think it's pretty understood, correct, that, if we go above and beyond that, we will come back and vote for more if we determine it's needed at that point. But I think what we have to do tonight is determine how much we're willing to set the first bar at. Commissioner Holloway.
Is the plan to just amend the motion so that we have enough for what we want to do? Is that where we at right now to say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So Commissioner MS has withdrawn his motion. So Commissioner MS, would you like to restate your new motion, please?
Yes, I move that ANC authorize the signing of a letter of engagement with Verdi and Ogletree LLC to represent the commission in the protest of ABRA 130766 and provide up to $5,000 from its budget to fund the expenses. And I further move that we apply for a technical assistance support grant from the Office of Advisory Neighborhood Commissions to support this letter with the funds the first lien of funds coming from the TSA grant and then flooding into our own up to $5,000 budget. And I will be happy to send that to you, Ms. Sosa Garnica, afterwards, because I know that was a mouthful.
Thank you. Can I get a second on the motion?
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a second from Commissioner Bakum. Thank you. Okay, do we have any further discussion on this updated motion from the commissioners?
No.
Okay, any comment from the community on the motion?
I can't find my hand raised. This is Bill.
Good evening, Bill. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I want to give first before I get into this motion and whatnot. There was a single member district last month, and I told you that you're going to have to appeal. That was last month. I told you you need to work on an appeal. The ANC had 2 months to get that letter together to protest. 2 months, and then you did it at the last minute.
Madam Chair, is a vote on the floor?
On the motion.
Yes,
on the
Commissioner.
motion, on the motion.
Yeah, point of
vote is
order,
on the
Bill.
floor.
Bill.
Skip the vote over,
Bill,
please.
hold on. I need everyone to stop talking. Bill, I can mute you, so please just, if you can be quiet for a minute. Bill, this is not a conversation about what we did or didn't do. This is a conversation solely on the point of the motion of the funding. Do you have any comment on us spending this money for the attorney?
Yes.
What is your comment on that?
My comment on that is we should go to Abbott Legal, Sarah, and see if we can get an extension before we spend this money. Get an extension on the appeal itself. That's I believe that's in the situation in the APCA stuff where you can get an extension. Ronnie Edwards and you Gordon did a bunch of times where they went to APCA and said we need more time to get ourselves together. I suggest that before you start spending this money.
Bill, I think we are working on that as well, correct, Commissioner Hermes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ms.
we are
Alston
working
and I
on that
working
as
on
well, Bill, that we are doing this as a precautionary step because we still feel that a lawyer will be helpful regardless.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comment from the community? Okay, I'm gonna call in question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 All
Aye.
opposed, say nay. Thank you, the motion passes. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the agenda for our meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I put a
make a-
motion on the floor, we adjourn the meeting this evening at 7:43 PM Eastern Standard Time here in the District of Columbia.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner.
second.
Okay, Commissioner Thomas has moved, Commissioner Bokum has seconded. Thank you all very much. Have a good evening.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Bye.